After breaking up with his girlfriend, Sam lost all taste for life. He almost stopped seeing his friends and gave up his few hobbies. After work, he used to grab a couple of beers, lately stronger ones, and surf the internet until late at night. Then I'd go to bed and couldn't sleep for a long time, racing around in circles with the same thoughts. I'd get up in the morning, go to my boring job, go to the store in the evening, and everything would repeat. On Friday I usually bought a bottle of whiskey and a beer. I got drunk, fell into a drunken sleep, woke up in the morning with a heavy head, drank a beer, lay around until the evening or sat on the internet again, went to the store in the evening, and the story repeated. By Sunday evening I was usually back to normal, and on Monday everything started again. Sometimes I met with the few friends I had left, and it helped for a while to get out of the prolonged apathy, but then it came back with a new force. I tried dating, but it usually didn't go any further than a couple or 3 meetings, because I just didn't have the energy to build any new relationships. That Friday night Sam had already drunk his first glass of whiskey mixed with juice to make it less disgusting, and was watching some stupid video when the phone rang. I looked at the phone screen and a faint smile appeared on my face. It was Margot, a neighbor and longtime acquaintance who, for some obscure reason, continued to persist in keeping in touch with him.
Hi. Are you home? I'll be right in, I've had an emergency.
She used to say that all the time. It didn't matter if it was a new pair of shoes or a fight with her boyfriend.
Are you smoking in the room again? It's gonna stink again. You need a normal girlfriend, she'd give you a good time.
A light hug and a kiss on the cheek.
Are you drinking? Pour me one, I'm having an affair.
She had a new affair, and this time it was serious. As it always is. And he's the one she's been waiting for all her life. After the last couple of relationships and breakups, Sam was already skeptical and just nodded, sipping from his glass.
Anyway, it's time for you to find someone, too. You're just sitting in your hole, pining for your sweetheart. Don't argue, I can see that. Tomorrow we have a date together, and you come with us to the bar on Sunday. We'll find you a girl, don't worry. That's it, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Left alone, Sam smoked again in the kitchen, finished another glass and thought that it wasn't such a bad idea. It would be a good idea to go out, just to unwind. Right now, he just needed to finish this bottle and just go to sleep. Sam woke to the pounding of his own heart, which echoed in his head. It was well past noon. He staggered to the kitchen, lit a cigarette, and took out a bottle of beer. The beer made me feel a little better. I should do something until the evening, do some cleaning, maybe throw out the bottles, wipe the dust. And then tonight I'll buy whiskey again. When I was done with my chores and there was already a bottle of cheap whiskey in the fridge, the phone rang.
Hi. Are you home? I'll be right in, I've got this thing.
I think Sam could tell from her voice what was wrong. And he was right. Margot's new boyfriend canceled the date and said they shouldn't see each other anymore.
I was on my way to the store to get something for the date. I almost threw the wheel. I could barely stop.
Margot had almost calmed down and just lay on Andre's shoulder. And he stroked her hair. Then he put his arms around her waist, brushed away a strand and kissed her neck. He woke up with a familiar pounding in his head, which this time was muffled by the pounding of his heart. There was still some whiskey left in the bottle, from which he took a small sip. He wrinkled his nose and immediately took another. Not remembering the end of the evening had become a habit that had developed exactly according to the pamphlet on the evils of drunkenness. Though he'd had less to drink last night than usual. I think I started kissing her. Andrei stepped out onto the balcony and lit a cigarette. He took another sip. I started hitting on her, and she took offense and left? I don't remember shit. He twirled his cell phone in his hand. He found Margot in his contacts and pressed call. The subscriber's device is switched off or is. He didn't listen to the rest of the call and reset it. A few more tries, but the caller still wasn't online. Sam went to the shower and cleaned himself up a bit. He looked in the mirror at his wrinkled face and decided that it would have to do. He left the apartment, went up to the top floor and rang Margot's doorbell. Mom opened the door.
Sam. All Saturday morning, Margot had been flitting around the apartment getting ready for her date. Then she said she had nothing to wear, took her car keys and went to the store. And then we got the call. They said she'd lost control of her car, gone off the road and hit the pole sideways, just where she was sitting.
Margot's mom was already just sobbing quietly, hiding her face in her palms, and Sam just listened, still not fully understanding what had happened. Died. And then his eyes darkened and a prickly coldness ran down the back of his neck as he realized. I was on my way to the store to buy something for a date. I almost threw the steering wheel. I could barely stop. So you couldn't. And then? What happened? Did you start hallucinating already? Or was it just a dream? Psychosis? After drinking almost half the bottle, Sam gave up and didn't try to understand what was going on. He just drank, leafed through Margot's pictures, read the correspondence, tried a few more calls, drank some more. Hell of a music. It's the kind of music that devils should be dancing to at the devil's feast. But where'd it come from underwater? We gotta get out of here. Sam pushed his feet off the bottom. And woke up. The music from hell was the ringing of the phone right above his ear. Barely able to open her eyes, Sam swiped her finger across the accept call screen. He held the phone up to his ear, reading the caller's name out of the corner of his eye, and a faint smile appeared on his face. Then a cold, clammy sweat broke out all over his body and it felt like the world was collapsing into the abyss, dragging Sam with it.
Hey. Are you home? I'll be right in, I've got a situation.